Okay then, welcome to a TCAP commentary. I'm Lunar. I'm a big fan of the TCAP show, and I guess by extension of that, like HVP, all of the predator catching stuff, I'm a huge fan of. I was a kid when TCAP was still on TV. When the show debuted, I was in like seventh or eighth grade, and I have some family that works in like, Department of Human Resources and people who work with, victims of child abuse. And so this show always hit really close to home for me because I've seen through I haven't seen, but I've heard through the family members of mine. I've heard about their work and some of the nightmarish things that they've encountered, and I just have a really I don't know. I just really love to see predators get owned. So it's kind of been a thing for like the last nearly 20 years now. I've been watching this show. So, and I watch it to an unhealthy extent. And I also watch like a lot of the Lauren Armstrong stuff, the Church of God. I only got into that like about a year and a half ago. I was kind of a late adopter of that. But anywho, today we're looking at Jeff Sokol. Before we do get started, I want to shout out Walls for the upload, or sorry, for the upload that we're going to watch here. And I also want to shout out Temple of TCAP for some of the images they're going to provide that they've provided. They didn't like personally give it to me, but it's like out there on the forum and whatever. So without any further ado, I'm Lunar. Let's watch Jeff Sokol get owned.
What you see being edited behind me, you can see no.
Okay, right off the bat, I need to go ahead and throw it out there. I'm going to be skipping around a fuck ton because, frankly, there's a lot of poop. There's just a lot of really irrelevant shit. So we're going to skip probably a lot of what Chris Hansen says because, frankly, a bunch of it is bullshit. For example, the part where he says that the guy pulled out a Viagra when it's pretty obvious he probably pulled out like an anti-IBS type of thing, like a Beano or whatever the fuck. So that's just bullshit. But anywho, let's if you don't like the pauses, you're definitely not gonna like this. Just heads up.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
The journey
Do you find the
begins.
house okay?
No, it's really dark outside.
Well, it doesn't begin
How
for
did
the
you even
journey
get
isn't
here?
beginning for Jeff at this point. The journey isn't beginning at this point. At this point, the the journey's 2.5 hours underway at least. God, man, think about that. 2.5 hours. I was racking my brain before I started to record this. I was thinking to myself, like, have I ever? What's the farthest I've ever driven to get laid? What is the farthest, or to like get drugs or go to a party? Like, yeah, I mean, I used to party a little bit when I was a kid, and yeah, I drove a pretty good ways out a couple times, but I don't think I ever drove 2.5 goddamn hours. I don't even think I drove an hour and a half anywhere. I don't think I've driven more than like 30 minutes maybe to go party or chill with someone. So to me, this is just bizarre. Like 2.5 hours is like I don't even like that's just insane. That's like God. I you're gonna hear me gawk a lot, and yeah.
I'll take 2.5 hours.
Pardon
That's a long drive.
Yeah.
Squeaks.
All right.
Sorry, I'm really nervous.
Oh, you're gonna be hot?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm all over the place. Oh man, this is one of my favorite moments of this entire encounter right here. He walks in, Mr. Hotshot. He's finally got his girl ready to go. He's got his pizza and his wings. He's ready to fucking go, man. He dressed up. Look at this. This is probably nice for him. This is probably spiffy for him. This is probably his Sunday best, right? And he's all done up and he's ready to get it on with this little child, and he's walking in. Hi, what's up? He's Jesus
That's
Christ.
a long drive.
Yeah.
She is just making a
All right.
getting.
Sorry, I'm really nervous.
Oh, you're gonna be hot?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
are you okay?
Jesus Christ, man. Like, this is the exact moment that he knew something was up, right? Like, up until this point, he was probably thinking like he was about to get laid, and then right at that point, I mean, not like at that moment, right? They were probably gonna munch on some pizza and some wings first, but he is so eager to get through the door and get over here and give his little girl a hug. And he walks in looking all confident, all dapper. Look at this. He's all Mr. Big Shot
That's a
here.
long drive.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, I'm really nervous.
Oh, you're gonna be
You
hot?
want to give
No,
him a
I'm
hug?
sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Hey, you don't want to give me a hug? Is something wrong with you? Like, like Jesus Christ, man. This is buckle up, friends. We're gonna be in for a joyride here. We're gonna be in for a good long road trip here. Um, God, man, what can you really what else can you really say, right? Like this guy is so he goes from like 100 to 0 in a fraction of a second, dude. I don't even know if it was.
Really nervous.
Oh, you're gonna be a
You don't
hug?
want to give me
No,
a hug?
sorry.
Oh,
I'm
Did
sorry.
you say
wow.
hug?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm
Are you
okay.
okay? Something wrong with you?
I'll settle into it.
Okay.
So, kind of peachy batches.
Oh.
Cream cheese.
The small pizza is like almost as big as the big one.
Okay, I've always loved that line because Jeff Sokol notoriously admits that he's rather poorly endowed. Hey man, it happens. No worries, dude. He makes that statement, and I send the text messages actually. He makes the statement in the text messages. Do you think size matters? I'm not very big, but I know how to please a 13-year-old. And that is one of the quotes that gets put on Hansen versus Predator special. So that's like horrible. Imagine driving, and this is actually me paraphrasing a comment that I read like years ago on one of those uploads, and it was like, imagine driving 2.5 hours with thinking you're going to have a dinner date and get laid just to be exposed for being a predator with a small dick. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Also, let's just get right to it. Let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room, right? Pizza, Planet freaking Pizza. I love everything about pizza, so I'm not gonna go on a long rant about it, but I will say Planet Pizza's pizza looks so good, and every time I see this upload, like I want to go and order pizza. And I usually either want to go like there's a couple places near me, like local places. They're they do a really good job. They make really I guess you might say authentic pizzas. And then other times when I'm like when I didn't live where I currently live and I was just kind of in a more like metropolitan area and we only had like corporate like food chains and stuff. I used to go to Marco's. I would see this upload and I would book it to Marco's like every time. So, because this pizza kind of vaguely reminds me of a Marco's pizza. Which, by the way, if you haven't had one, you ought to get one. They're pretty fucking good.
So I didn't know that. Like you said small, I thought it'd be like a really.
Oh, and the reason I should actually like clarify why that line is so funny to me. Like he says the small pizza is almost as big as the big one, and I think to myself, I wonder if his girlfriend ever said that or his ex-wife ever said that to him. Like I wonder if his ex-wife ever said, "Well, your small dick is almost as big as the big one, so I guess it's not that big of a deal that you have a small one." And then he does this motion with his hands as if to like try and show the I don't know the the potential size of the pizzas and just
Yeah.
You
Sorry.
okay?
I'm okay. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I am. I'm fine.
I just
That is like passive aggressive as fuck, dude. There is like right here you can see he's like, okay, we got a lot to address here. We got a lot to talk
All
about.
I thought it'd be like a really small one.
yeah.
Really small.
Sorry.
You okay?
Yep.
I'm okay.
That line pisses me the fuck off. He makes a lot of lines that piss me right the fuck off, but that is one of them. He says, "Are you okay?" Like inferring that there's something wrong with her if she doesn't like respond to his, whatever. Which I kind of do get like why he would be confused, maybe maybe even a little disappointed. He has been chatting this girl up for weeks. He did drive 2.5 hours. He seemed like he thought he was going to be getting some. I don't know. So I don't know. But then he immediately shifts into this passive aggression. Also, gotta catch it. Looks right into the camera, goofy smile and all.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I am. I'm fine.
I've just never done this before.
I know.
Have you?
No, not really. I mean,
Are you telling me the truth?
I've met girls online, but I don't like come like this far to like meet someone. I don't know why whatever.
Okay, so here comes I don't know if it's a hot take or if it's just like a demonstration of my naivete. Maybe one of you guys out there can help me out, but some of these guys that come to these catches, I actually do believe that they're telling the truth when they say they've never done anything like that before. Like, I actually don't find that impossible to believe. I mean, statistically, right? Like, at least a few of them have to be telling the truth. But I think that, I don't know, there's just certain ones where I'm like, yeah, I don't know that that person's ever been successful, like in a chat with a young lady under 18. And then, like, he's been successful gaming her up to the point where she'll let him drive out to meet him, especially because, like, a lot of the guys they catch on these shows are fucking gross. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, they're all fucking gross, but like almost all of them are like conventionally unattractive, and I don't know. It's just meh, whatever.
Crazy, huh?
It is crazy. Yeah, why did you let me come?
I mean,
If you're so
it's
nervous.
so nervous.
It seems like a good idea, and you seem nice.
Why do you think I came?
I think I know.
It's not the only reason. It's not the reason.
What's the reason?
And I just, been talking to you for a while, and you seem like really cool to hang out with, and someone that I'd like to meet. And
What the fuck does that even mean? Really cool to hang out with? Like, what? You can meet people that are cool to hang out with at like your local bar, dude. You can meet people that are cool to hang out with at like your local fucking, I don't know, like arcade if they still have those. You, I don't know. Or maybe not. Don't go to the arcade. You might be, yeah. On the other hand, just don't go to the arcade. But you can find people that are cool to hang out with. Detective Kelly, the person who interrogates him, ends up pointing out in the interrogation, you're from the greater Boston area, dude. Like, that is a large major metropolitan city. You should have no issue whatsoever going out and getting a date or finding someone who's cool to hang out with, as he likes to say. Like, what the hell does that even fucking mean? Like, I mean, it's obvious, okay? Like, what he really means is, I was chatting you up. You seemed like you were down to fuck, and so here I am. Jesus Christ, man! Just the fuck. I've got another hot take coming too, by the way.
wanted
A real hot
to check
take.
out the situation.
Check out the situation.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
All right, first, we gotta get,
Let's deal with this whole contract thing, because I'm just going to be thinking about it the whole time. Until we get that out of the way.
This document was something Sokol put together
yeah,
private
shut up,
topic
dude. You
work.
should go fucking have another beer.
Let's eat, and we can talk about it.
Okay. There's plates behind you if you want to grab one.
Huh?
There's plates behind you if you want to grab one. Do you want a water or anything?
So,
Okay.
I want to
Man, well,
know.
yeah.
Okay, so people talk all the time about the pizza from Planet Pizza, and again, don't get me wrong, it looks baller as fuck. Like, it looks so good. Like, again, I'm looking at this pizza. I just ate dinner like not even an hour ago, and low key, I'm like fiending for a Marco's pizza now. It's horrible what that does to me. It's horrible. Anyway, as much as we talk about the pizza, I never hear anyone talking about the wings. I want to know what the wings look like. Now, nobody talks about them because we can't really see them. I get that part, but I want to see, like, I want someone to go to Planet Pizza and order the wings and really give us a good view of what they look like. But then again, I don't know how realistic that would be. I mean, this was filmed almost 9 years ago. It's crazy to think, by the way. Jesus Christ. Can you believe it? It's been 9 years since HVP. Good Lord. Okay. Oh, and my other hot take. Get ready for this.
Alright, I'll grab the water.
Orange juice. He brings freaking orange juice with him. I brought this just in case. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, I fucking love orange juice. It is legitimately my favorite drink of all time. I always have at least like a gallon of it in my fridge, like a carton of or however much is in one of those cartons of Minute Maid, or typically it's Minute Maid. I do go that way quite a bit. And then I'm trying to think of the other ones. Tropicana, actually, I do quite a bit. There's another one, and I can't remember the name of it here. Let me look it up real quick. We're gonna break the fourth wall just a little bit here. Simply Orange. Oh my god, that shit is so effing good, dude. Simply Orange, based as fuck. So good. And also, I've always wondered how these things work. Like, this is a frozen can. What is that? The orange juice in the can? Like, is it just like what? How do you even open that? Do you have to have a can opener? Like, what the fuck is that about? Or is it some kind of thing you mix with like water? I don't understand, and I should probably know how that works, being in my 30s and all, and having had a lot of orange juice. Anyway, Sunny D, poop balls, garbage ass. Oh, here's the one I was thinking. Homemaker, bruh. Homemaker, based as fuck. Hey, this guy looks like he could be on TCAP. Whatever, we won't fuck with him. It's a random guy. Leave him alone. Um, Oh my God, yes. That's those are some of the best orange juice brands. Avoid Sunny D. That's just garbage. What did he have here? It looks like, was it Ocean Spray? Oh yeah, Ocean Spray, man. Ocean Spray makes a really good OJ. And then here's one that I've never seen outside of like a fucking liquor store. So whatever, good luck, I guess. But it's oh God, what is it called? Fuck, I can't think of it. Everfresh, that's it, Everfresh. Oh my God, Everfresh makes the best fruit drinks, dude. Just period. Like they make the best. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was I don't know. Maybe it was the times I got it and I was at I said I never got it outside of a liquor store, right? So I maybe it was the fact that I was mixing it with liquors that made it so tasty. I don't know, but God damn. Anyway, let's keep this moving. 16 and a half minutes. Yikes.
Talk about it.
There's plates.
Oh, and
fine.
then of course, God, man,
There's
there's
plates.
so much going on here. There's so fucking much going on here. Like the marriage contract thing, just so bizarre. Like that is next level creepery. Let's just move along.
I do.
We'll get to that.
Do you want a water or anything?
No.
Okay.
Man, well, I got this for.
Wait,
All right, I'll grab a water.
Alright, I will have one.
I'll have a water.
You want to eat at the table, or what do you want to do?
You off the
No,
table?
I'm gonna sit here.
What are you, a fucking troglodyte, dude? You're gonna eat off the goddamn table. Also, imagine stopping on this frame, huh? Look at that. That is such a that's such a creepy smile, bro. He's like, and I'm wondering, like, when he makes this smile, is he waiting for her to turn back around and look at him, and he has like that creepy smile on, and it's like he's giving her like the eyes, you know what I mean? Like the let's fuck eyes. Is that his version of that? Like he's trying to, I don't even know, man. It's just fucking hell, man. What a goddamn creepy guy. He stands there, and then here's the thing: he drops it before she even turns around.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I expected
He's got mischief on his mind, to say the least, folks.
it to be like 2.5 hours. So,
Mischief and honesty.
You're in the Boston area, you said?
yeah. Can I wash my hands?
Mm-hmm.
Care if I wash my hands?
Yeah, I have some family that lives up there.
He can
It's
wash
pretty
his
nice.
hands before he
Yeah.
eats.
Yeah, I've been to Faneuil Hall.
Where's your family? Like, what part of Boston?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Boston's so confusing.
If this was actually not, if she was actually lying, like if Nellie, like the actual actress, was lying and has never been to Boston, that was a fantastic dodge. I just want to throw that out there. That was like a really, really good dodge.
It's wicked confusing.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'll try
He's
to be
so
cool.
spooked.
That's
We'll
okay.
work on it.
Nervous
I
now?
mean, you look great.
Thanks.
You just look
You look
different
great.
than what than like in the pictures. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I expected you to have dark hair. Did you?
My hair just, it lightens up in the summer.
You don't look there, dude.
No, I'm not saying. I mean, I think you
You
look
don't
great.
like it?
I think you look great. I'm just saying, like you look different, yeah, than I thought.
Yeah.
But no, nothing wrong with
Well, you
that.
never can tell with online things, you know?
What about me? Do I look different?
I mean, yeah.
That's such a goofy question but I get it also though. I actually it's not an unreasonable question to ask to someone that you've only been seeing through like pictures on the internet or on your phone or whatever. It's but it is just a goofy picture. Do I look the same? Do I look like what you thought? Especially because the pictures that he sent her, the only ones I'm aware of, the one where he's waiting for the plumber, and then the one where he's got like his Wire Club profile, I guess it is, that says like Cecil the Lion. I don't know if it was his Wire Club or whatever the hell thing he was on, but freaking, he only sent her a couple of photos. And what expectation could she have had? You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway.
To different.
Rolling
I'm not saying
Springs.
better or
No,
worse, just
Bowling
different.
Springs. That's the name of that water.
Alright.
I have cupcakes too, Mom.
See, did you make them?
Look at those. Do you think I made those?
I have no idea.
No.
Do you want to use plates?
See, if he wasn't in a frenzy, he would probably think to ask, well, if you didn't make them, who did? Like, I don't know. That maybe that's a little bit out there, but that's what would be going on in my mind is if you, well, if I could be in a situation as fucked as this, like, yeah, I would probably think to myself, even in a normal social interaction, right? Like even in a totally, normal, healthy, kosher interaction with someone, if I'm just chilling with them at their house, I'm going to be, and they say like, I didn't make those cupcakes that I have neatly positioned in the middle of a plate over there. Like, then why the hell did you do that? Why would you just take 4 random cupcakes and put them on a plate and like leave the plate here? What? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know. At least put some foil on there, you know what I mean? I don't know. You're gonna bring roaches in or something, or rats. I don't know. That's a nice house. I don't got that problem.
Do you want to use plates or do you want to make it
Whatever you want. We're pretty casual here. I'm like too nervous to eat.
Well, you already ate, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I was wondering if you were gonna be like, how would you be? Like, would you be nervous? Would you be like totally like you've done this before?
Oh,
you know,
definitely haven't done this before.
Doing what before exactly? Like, what does he expect her to have done? To have had like a grown-ass man over to the house? To have just had a boy from the internet over to the house? Maybe one that was closer to her age? Or is he talking about like, I don't know if you've ever had a 44-year-old at your house before to fuck you? Like, what the hell, dude? Why would, like, just, ugh. Now, I actually do understand his confusion in this moment because in the chat, Nelly really goes out of her way, and I shouldn't say Nelly, but the decoy, the actual like person that they're portraying, really goes out of their way to sort of give off like this badass aura, and she talks about getting in fights with people, and she fucked a dude and whatever, and all this things that are just kind of out there for a 13-year-old, maybe a little bit out there and unusual. But this guy, goddamn fucking A.
You seemed very, very like, you didn't seem nervous at all when I talked to you and just in general.
It's different when you're talking to someone online versus like
person.
And yeah, that's kind of getting to what I mean is like on the chats, she seemed like very, I don't want to say alpha, but I mean, kind of leaning that way. Like she's already, fucking around, and she got in a fight with some chick, and whatever. She like gives off this like, badass aura or whatever. Or she tries to portray this like badass aura, and when he gets to the house, she's all nervous and clamped up and, fucking freaking out, and it's just, I get the confusion.
coming to their house and meeting them.
I just gotta take something. This isn't drugs. It's just a.
Yeah, no bad means. Here, drink water.
It's something that I take before I eat.
In the middle of it all,
And then here comes the bullshit. Fucking washed up jerk off. It was not a fucking boner pill. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure, I believe they confirmed that he had them on him. But what the hell do you think makes more sense? That you're going to take an anti-IBS medication before you go to eat pizza, or you're going to take your fucking Viagra? You know what I mean? Like, what? Viagra doesn't take, like, super long to kick in, from what I understand. I don't know, because I've never been on it, but, like, from my understanding, Viagra kicks up in, like, 15 to 30 minutes, and typically, if you're sitting down to have dinner with someone, especially someone that you're just meeting for the first time, I'm assuming that's going to take a little more than 15 or 30 minutes. So you don't have to worry about getting boned up at the dinner table. There's no need for that. There's no need to be getting rocked up at the dinner table, or at the dinner island thing, whatever the hell that guy's dad made, allegedly, back in the 1960s.
What are you doing today?
I'm just hanging out, watching TV, Netflix and stuff.
What's that?
I have no idea. Do you want to check?
Somebody here?
No.
what kind of pizza we have tonight? Who's this?
We'll get to that in a minute. Who are you?
God, man, Chris comes out fucking just looking rough, bro. Looking fucking rough, man. He looks better these days. I actually give him credit. He looks a little better these days, but I mean, look at him in this fucking shot, dude. He's chubbed up a good bit. He's got bags under his eyes like he's been on a fucking meth binge or something in the last couple days. His hairline is still sick, dude. His hairline for a guy as old as he was, or as he old as he is, like, I give the guy credit. That's a badass hairline. If my hair looks anything like that when I'm 60 years old, I will be very happy. Yeah, no, Jesus, man. What an entrance.
Who are you?
You tell me first. You're Jeff.
And I love the smirk on Chris's face, by the way. He like almost is like, it's almost like
Who are you?
comical to him.
You tell me first.
Look at that. He's got like a little half smirk there. Like, I don't even know. It's like, I can't even speculate on what he must be thinking in that moment.
You're Jeff, right?
Yeah.
And what are you doing here tonight, Jeff?
Hanging out.
Hanging out with whom?
With her.
Who's her?
I don't want to know who you are.
That face is fucking punchable as shit. That face he makes.
I don't want to know who you.
Look at that. That face is so punchable. He looks like he's offended or bothered that someone would confront him. Like, dude, you're 44 years old coming to fuck a kid. You don't get to be even the least bit aggrieved, bro. You don't get to sit there and look like you're fucking annoyed that, oh my God, I can't believe this random guy walked in. I was about to get some pizza and get laid. Like, no, dude, you don't get to do that, homie. You take that fucking indignant look off your face, or never mind, let Lady Justice give you a reason to have it.
You are.
I want to know a little bit more about you first.
Can I eat first?
Sure, go ahead.
Tell me who you are, because, you know, I didn't know there would be other people here.
Well, what did you expect?
So the pizza, him eating the pizza, I think is really just like a sort of defense mechanism, if you can call it that. Or it's like a way to soothe his nerves. It's a way for him to try and feel out the situation, check out the situation. And it's a chance for him to like try and normalize what's going on, I think, in his own mind, if nothing else. He's doing something that's obviously horribly wrong. He's in a situation that would be unimaginably stressful. And I think that he's clinging to the pizza as a sort of, last little semblance of like normalcy, which, whatever. And I think that he thinks if he just eats if he can eat the pizza, then it's probably not legal trouble that he's in, which is a bizarre line of thinking, but go with it, right? Whatever. Yeah, I think that he thinks of, if this guy's going to let me eat the pizza, then I can't be going to jail. So that's my thinking, is it's just a coping defense mechanism, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Also, it looks like a badass pizza. Let's keep it 1,000, bro. It's a fucking good looking pizza, dude.
To happen this time, Jeff.
Wood smash.
Didn't have any expectations.
No expectations whatsoever.
No.
So you drove 2.5 hours?
Sure did.
From Boston.
Who are
It
you?
is.
To come here
Are you her dad?
to meet a young girl.
Are you her
I
dad?
will get to that in a minute.
The
Go ahead.
bite. The famous bite, dude. Yeah, that's another reason I think this is just a defense sort of thing, is like he's so shook. He's so shook that he can't even think to like get the extra piece of pizza off of the one that he pulled up out of the box. Normally you pull up a piece of pizza and you see that you got a pretty good bit of another slice stuck to yours. You just cut that bitch off, or you eat it off. But he doesn't even do that. He goes full sail. He goes, I'm going to get the extra slice of the pizza that's on this pizza, and then I'm also going to try and get a chunk off this pizza. Like a real hog,
But
A hog.
I haven't done anything
You
wrong.
haven't done anything wrong. You haven't done anything wrong. All right, buddy.
how old are you?
How old are you?
What does it matter?
I'd like to know.
I don't understand why he's reluctant to say his age, because there's no answer he can give that's going to be A, believable, and B, justifiable. Like he's not going to be able to say like, oh, I'm really 15, and I come here to meet my girlfriend and whatever. Like, obviously it doesn't look anything even remotely close to this young girl's age. And what does he think is the difference? Does he think if he says 30, does he think people are going to believe that with all these grays and everything? A single man with no kids and you've got this much gray hair, dude, I don't know, man, dude. You're older, not like old, but you're 44, Brody. Like it's not even up for debate, man. Why the hell would you be peeved at having to answer that question?
I haven't done anything
I
wrong.
haven't done anything wrong.
Coming to meet somebody? What's wrong? What is that against the
Coming to
law?
meet a young girl?
Yeah, is that against the
He's
law?
still got food in his mouth too. He's the type of asshole who talks with his mouth full of food, or even with just like a part of a bite of food still in his mouth. He'll still be chewing on it. It's like, dude, cover your mouth to get your sentence out, or at least finish the fucking bite and then finish the sentiment. Okay, like Jesus, man. He really gives me like caveman vibes, dude. He really is like a caveman, like wants to eat the pizza off the table, wants to fucking talk with his mouth fucking full, wants to be a predator, just a real fucking troglodyte.
It is after this chat.
How?
Did you bring some kind of a contract with you? Some sort of marriage contract? Let's see if any of this...
Laughing it off like it's no big deal. Dog, you legitimately talked about that. That's a real conversation y'all had in that chat, bro. You can't just play that off like, oh, I can't believe they thought I was serious. Like, dude, yeah, you were talking about that shit. Now, granted, I don't think in the chat he ever specifically said, okay, I'm drawing up a contract and I'm bringing it with me. I don't think that ever came up that I can recall, but he did at one point mention having to have at one point mention needing to have a fucking parental signature of some sort.
Sounds familiar while you enjoy your pizza.
Enjoying that pizza.
I should come see you on Saturday. Well, since your mom isn't home, it's the best time to do it.
That's time.
I would, but only if you want me to.
Haven't done anything wrong,
You say,
right, Jay?
I can't go to jail. My life would be ruined.
Right.
Could be locked up for 20 years.
Yep.
And then you say, do you trim your blank?
I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
Now you know that this girl is 13, right?
Wasn't sure.
She's told you.
Wasn't sure.
No. That doesn't...
And you're what, 37?
She texts you from middle school, bro. She's like, yeah, dude. And she's telling you about all this bullshit she gets into. Like, dude, it's irrefutable. You knew she was 13. There's no ambiguity. There's no question. Like, you fucking knew, dude. Don't try to play it off. Well, I mean, people can say anything, People do some things, man. Fuck off, dude. People definitely do some things. And you came to do a kid, so you deserve to go to prison for the rest of your life.
That doesn't mean anything.
You're 37?
37.
How old are you? You might as well just tell me, because I can find out like that.
Who are you? Can you tell me who you are first?
I will tell you that in a minute.
Because, now you're making me nervous and...
You're 44 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? As a 44-year-old guy, I shouldn't be talking to 13-year-old girls like this. Yet I want to. What am I supposed to make of that? Sorry.
What, that's $1 million question, Jeffrey. What the hell are we supposed to think about that? Because you're not talking about like, oh, again, sort of picking up on one of the things that Detective Kelly said to him. You're not talking to this girl about like baseball or a video game or a movie or some shit. You're not like her little league coach who's like, okay, don't forget, we've got practice on Thursday, and we got a big game on Saturday, so make sure you get lots of sleep the night before. This is not at all what he's talking about. He's asking her if she shaves her pussy. He's asking her if she thinks dick size matters. He asks her if she's fucked anyone before and whatever fucking, like, just ridiculous, man. There's no ambiguity here, Jeff. I can't even believe that I can believe it, actually. I can actually really easily believe it, but it's just ridiculous. I started to say, I can't believe that you would even try to defend this in court, but he really did. He actually really shot his shot. Thankfully, it missed. It's just too bad it didn't miss harder and get him even more time.
I am paranoid. For meeting me? No, potentially having sex. But that is where the breaking the law comes from. All right. Punishable up to 20 years. Did you bring condoms with you tonight?
Wasn't planning on having sex.
Do you
He wasn't planning on having safe sex. He was planning on having unprotected sex, and I think that's pretty believable. I mean, he drove 2.5 hours. He had a boner pill on him, and there's all this chat about sex, that he's doing with this girl. He's doing, I mean, the chat. There's all this talk about sex in the chat that he has with this girl. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, what other reasonable explanation is there, Jeffrey?
have them in your car?
No,
I'm going to find out, so you might as well tell me now.
I don't. Go ahead, check the car.
You will never.
I mean, and that's it's all fucked up on so many levels, but to want to do it with no rubber, dude, like, what happens if you get this chick pregnant, dude? I mean, I know that she said, like, according to the chat, that she was on birth control, but regardless, dude, I don't know, man. Like, that's just ridiculous, dude.
Never tell
don't even
anyone
know
about
this
us having
chick, dude.
sex.
And it's a kid, for crying
Are
out
you
loud.
sure?
It's a little fucking kid.
Okay, I could be there Saturday afternoon. Explain. Explain it to me.
Just wanted to come hang out and.
It looks like here you wanted to come here and have sex with a 13-year-old girl.
Okay, is that against the law
To have sex with a 13-year-old girl when you're 44? Yes, it's against the law.
To meet a girl? That's all I've done.
You see how
After you've asked her about penis sizes and other sexual things, it doesn't matter what you're talking about prior to it. You're talking about something sexually explicit. To quote the other guy from fucking Greenville or whatever the hell, Dark County. Like, it doesn't matter. You drove all the way there after having an extremely inappropriate chat. You ask if she's a virgin. You ask if she shaves her pussy. You ask if she thinks dick size matters. You ask how many guys she's been with. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, that's illegal, bro. Like, just even asking that shit by itself is illegal, as it fucking should be. But where the hell do you get off thinking that you can say those kinds of things in a chat to a minor and then drive 2.5 hours and it's like, no big deal, guys. Oh, no big deal. Don't worry about it. Just come to hang out. Just come to, she seemed cool to talk to or whatever the hell, that he said earlier. We're just going to eat some pizza and drink some vodka and have a chat, Totally normal things for 13-year-olds to do
this looks.
with grown-ass men, right? I mean, I know there's 13-year-olds who, like, they get into some mischief at a young age. They maybe they start drinking or smoking or fucking at a young age, and then that is what it is. If they're doing it with other people their own age, that's totally different. But, like, you think that he just thinks that this is totally kosher? A 44-year-old man bringing a little bit of vodka, even if it was like a little tiny bit of vodka that was way watered down, dude, way watered down. Like, it makes no difference, bro. Like, this is not normal, Jeffrey. This is not normal. So every day when Jeffrey wakes up, I'm sure he feels aggrieved. I mean, it's pretty obvious based on his court transcripts, what his defense lawyer was saying in court, that he feels incredibly aggrieved and he feels like this has been a horrible exercise in humiliation. Jeffrey, you deserve to be an RSO. You deserve to be in prison, actually. I don't think they should have let you out. You should be in prison, like, every day when you wake up. I'm addressing Jeffrey directly now. Jeffrey, every day when you wake up and you look at your life, the shell of what it is, and you look at what used to be, I want you to remember, you earned this. This was your doing.
Okay, but do you also see
But do you also see
that I was pretty apprehensive about the whole sex thing?
Well, wouldn't you be? Wouldn't anybody be if they're
Right.
going to try to have sex with a 13-year-old girl?
To be honest with you, you're not going to believe me, but I don't know who you are, but I'm sure you're like, law enforcement. But
You think I'm law enforcement?
well, I mean, that's what it sounds like. I was thinking about this on the way down,
Right. You had 2.5 hours to think about it.
and
such a good burn. That was a god tier burn right there, dude. That was just so perfect. He even gets caught, like, laughing. I mean, he finds it kind of comical, And God, look at that disgusting gap in his teeth, dude. Like, from what I understand, he comes from a, reasonably well-off family. Why didn't y'all get him some braces, dude? Look at this. He's got goddamn Grand Canyons between his teeth. No disrespect to anybody who's got oral work that needs done, or orthodontic work that needs done. Um, I was pretty privileged to be able to have that stuff done when I was a kid, but good Lord, Jeffrey. You make enough money to have that ritzy apartment in Brookline. You make enough money to have gas money to drive 2.5 hours and get pizza and a large order of wings for your date and some vodka. Like, you can't do like a certain like finance plan for some Invisalign or some shit, dude.
And I wasn't gonna. I'm not gonna risk it. That's what I said.
It's not normal for a 44-year-old guy to drive 2.5 hours to hang out with a 13-year-old
I
girl.
wanted to hang out, see how she was, see if
A 13-year-old girl. How often do you do this sort of thing?
never done it.
You've never done it. So tonight you just decided, okay, I'm going to drive 2.5 hours
Oh yeah,
down I-95 from Boston.
yeah. I've been talking to her
To this
for a little
house.
while, and she seemed cool to hang out with. I mean, with that,
You can't find any
I had nothing else.
older girls?
I can, but I had nothing else going on.
So you
Well, he can find plenty of older girls, but none of them want to fuck him. None of them will respond to his messages, so he's just stuck hitting on little kids. Fucking pig.
decided you just come out and hang out with a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, you can clearly see that I'm very apprehensive about that.
How on earth does that make it even remotely okay? How on earth does that make that even remotely okay? I was extremely apprehensive about molesting this kid, potentially. Like, what? Okay, oh, okay, guys, call off the dogs. Hey, call off the cops and everything, man. No worries. He said he didn't mean to do. He never even meant to do it. So just let him go. He was apprehensive. Blah blah blah. Lapse of judgment. Couple glasses of wine. That whole thing.
Let's say we meet and really like each other and want to continue seeing each other. How would we do this? Like I said, as long as you're under 16, age of consent, parenthetically, nobody can know about it.
Brilliant use of the word parenthetically. No one ever mentions that. Like when someone types in parentheses, no one ever thinks to mention that it's a parenthetical statement in the parentheses. I don't know. I'm nerdy like that, I guess.
I just can't take that chance. What it sounds like here is you're grooming her, testing her to make sure it would be okay if you had sex with her, so no one would find out.
To be honest with you, like I said, when I was on the way down,
Right?
I was thinking about the whole thing, and even before I left,
Right.
I was thinking I'm not going to have sex with her unless it's legal.
So you talk about a plan to make it legal, to marry her, right?
Yeah, not in 2
When she's 18.
seconds. I mean, like,
So if you liked her, like next
Oh, he's shaking like a leaf too, bro.
week or the week after, you'd marry a
no,
13-year-old girl.
not next
like a
week.
leaf.
No.
So after just a few days worth of chatting, you decide you love her?
No,
You want to have sex with her?
I don't know.
You want to marry her? What do you mean you don't know? She's 13.
I don't know. I was just throwing things out, like, just in case maybe I did like her. Maybe it was,
So then you'd marry a 13-year-old girl because she's really cool and you could have sex.
After a while, if it worked out, yeah.
I'm just almost at a loss for words. And I've seen this like 100 times, bro. Like, I've seen the uncut version of this. I've seen the fucking, whatever the hell it's called, Crime Watch Daily version of this. I've watched commentaries from pretty much every TCAPper I can think of that's in the game, that I'm aware of anyway. I'm just at a loss for words. I can't even respond.
After a while.
Yeah.
Well, like 3 years of dating?
I don't know.
A romantic courtship?
Maybe.
Maybe. So you're cool.
Maybe after 3 years when she's 16, he'll try and marry her. I mean, I don't know what the age of consent is in Boston, but I know what it is federally in the United States of America, and it's not 16, homie.
With all this. You just think this is just fun. Marching here to this home.
I know what you're.
Well, what else am I supposed to think, Jeff?
Do I seem like a dishonest, dirty person?
Yes.
I mean, do I seem like it to you?
This
yes.
chat seems like it.
Jeff, you seem like one of the most dishonest and dirtiest people. Like, honestly, Cody Green talked about the cleanest, best pleasure. You are the dirtiest, worst filth of humanity. They never should have let you out of prison, dude. I would really love to have that orange juice right now.
It seems like someone who at 44 years old.
Chat is chat.
Chat is chat, but showing up is showing up. And guess what, Jeff? You showed up. At a home where you knew a 13-year-old girl would be alone after a sexually charged conversation online. You come in, oh, I want to hug you. The little girl is nervous. You do with everybody.
That's such a good bird too. Chris was spitting fire on these, dude. Chris was, you could tell he had the fire, the hunger back. He really had that fire in his belly again. He was, this is my chance to bring my career back from the grave. This is my chance to redeem myself. Yeah, yeah, spitting fireballs on this one, Chrissy. Definitely, that was hilarious.
You do that every time you meet a 13-year-old girl.
I do it when I meet somebody for the first time.
Okay, but this somebody is not an adult, Jeff. She's 13.
James, please tell me who you are.
I'll tell you who.
I'm trying to be nice here.
Okay.
He's trying to be nice here, guy. He's trying to be nice to you. You're really jamming up his night here, dude. You're really harshing his mellow, bro. Like, how dare you? All he did was try to come over here to molest a kid, and you want to like bring down the vibes? Fucking shame on you, dude. He's trying to be nice and everything, dude. He never even meant to do it.
So am I. But you're not answering all my questions.
I will. Can you just tell me who you are?
I'm Chris Hansen, and this is an investigation called Hansen versus Predator.
Oh.
So if there's anything else you want people to know, anything you want to say, now would be a good time to say it.
I can't believe this happened.
Look at that face. Deer in the headlights, man. Deer in the fucking headlights. It kind of reminds me, like, you're getting a real deep look into this guy's, like, soul. I almost feel like it reminds me of the photo of Otto Warmbier, if you're familiar with who that is. It's a young American man who went to North Korea, I believe, in 2016, or yeah, it was early 2016, I believe, like New Year's Eve, around New Year's of 2016, and or New Year's Day of that year, I should say. And I believe he went to North Korea on like a class trip or some kind of, I don't even know what class would go to North Korea of all places, but he went there, and apparently after a night of drinking and having a little bit of fun, he snuck out of the hotel room. He went to another floor of the hotel and took down a sign that was in the hallway, and then they ended up arresting him and trying to use him as a political bargain chip, and then ultimately he died. And you can see at his trial, which is, by the way, not a real trial, it's obviously bullshit, but like you can see he's making a desperate plea to like be, please help me out here, guys, please don't do this to me. And there's one moment where he looks over at the media. He looks to, I guess it would have been his left, over his left shoulder, or not his over the shoulder, but he turns to his left, and you just look directly into his eyes. He's looking directly at like the press pool, I guess, and you can see just the fear in his eyes, the fucking sheer terror in his eyes. And here, I don't think it's terror with Jeff. I think it's just hubris. I think it's just foolish pride. He really walked in here having justified it in his own mind. It's no big deal. I'm just bringing some vodka and pizza. Gonna get my dick wet with a kid. No biggie, dude. No one's gonna care. Like, and then he has Chris Hansen and HVP crew come out and just completely own his ass, So I think it's just a look of bewilderment here, as opposed to Otto Warmbier's look of sheer terror.
Did you bring any sort of a marriage contract?
No.
So what was all that talk about?
I don't want to talk anymore.
Okay. You can leave.
On camera.
You can leave.
I mean, I can leave.
That's another very underrated line on this cast.
Okay. You can leave.
On camera.
You can leave.
I mean, I can.
Just that look of like confusion. He's so confused now. He really has no idea what just hit him. And it kind of blows my mind that when I don't understand like how you don't recognize Chris Hansen. Like, I realize he was, kind of, his career seemed like it was kind of dormant there, or dead there for like, like, I don't know however many years between TCAP and this, but it's like TCAP was every fucking where, dude. Like TCAP was one of the most popular shows on television. Other shows were talking about it all the time. Other news, like news outlets were talking about it all the time. It was coming up on like, fucking, I think The Daily Show. It was coming up on like, Best Week Ever, which was this thing on VH1 back in the day. And this show was everywhere. So like, how the hell do you not recognize Chris Hansen? But I don't know. I was a young kid, and these kind of catches were super relevant when I was a kid. I mean, they're still relevant now, but like, I don't know. We got a lot of exposure to Chris Hansen as kids, so maybe that's why we know who he. Maybe that's why I know who he is, and old Jeffy here just got caught off guard.
And leave.
We're almost done, guys.
And then what?
Bear with me.
That's not up to me.
Who's it up to?
It's not up to me. You didn't have to come here, did you?
That is a defeated man right there. That is, look at that. That is just the look of defeat. That is the look of a man who is just absolutely crushed like a condom in Thomas Coffin's wallet when he sits down on it. Absolutely crushed. No way out, Jeffy. Look all around you. There's no
What do
way
you
out.
do for a living, John?
I don't want to talk anymore. There's
Insurance business, right?
cameras rolling.
Insurance?
I don't want to talk anymore.
All right. As I said, you're free to leave.
Can you shut it off?
I cannot shut it off now.
I mean, what is this?
It's an investigation for a television program called Hansen versus Predator.
It's your
Where we
demise,
investigate
bitch boy.
grown people who go online and try to create inappropriate, illegal relationships with underage children. So unless
You know he's got to be thinking, like, in that moment when all the cameras come out and he's told that this is a TV show, you have to imagine that there's like all these things playing back in his head, like, oh my god, I asked her all these questions, I said something about my dick not being big, I said blah 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 blah, and it's like, there's got to be 1,000 huge reasons to be freaking out in his mind right now, like, oh my god.
you have something else to say, now would be a good time to go.
I don't have anything else to say.
All right then. You can take your pizza if you like.
Take that.
You want a slice?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Generous.
So the cops there?
We'll see.
Okay. Or if they're here, just bring them in.
Their hair just
It'd be best if you went out that way.
Beverage jacket.
he was dressed really well for this. I mean, this is 2015, so this style of dress, was pretty, it was pretty acceptable at the time. I would say he was pretty well dressed. Like if this guy had showed up somewhere that I was at back in 2015, I'd be like, hey, that guy's dressed pretty nicely. I don't think he's dressed to the nines like another certain guy that shows up at this particular catch, but
He's out for the garage.
it's a nice coat too, by the way. Totally fucking owned.
Sokol was sentenced to 7 years in prison, serving a mandatory 30 months.
7 years in prison, mandatory 30 months. My oh my, guys.
What you see.
Well, that is Jeff Sokol. I have some images here that I was going to go through, and actually we can quickly go through these actually. So, I mean, granted, everybody's seen a lot of these, if not all of them, but this is obviously our boy on the night that he got caught. Just absolutely fucking owned. This is our boy. I don't really know when this picture's dated to. I think I saw a date somewhere, but he looks horrible. He just looks absolutely fucking washed. He looks horrible. Like horrible. Just absolutely terrible. He's got a tacky, trashy little tattoo there. And I have nothing against tattoos. Let me be clear. I'm probably just pissed someone off with that statement. It's not that I'm against tattoos or anything. It's I'm against like shitty tattoos, and that's just a shitty looking tattoo. Like, I don't know. Anyway, this is like something out of a fucking horror movie. What in the world? Like, sometimes, you'll be out with your family and someone will want to take a picture. Like, sometimes when I go to some kind of, family function and I have, like, my aunts perhaps show up and my grandma shows up, then they'll be like, oh, we want to take pictures. Come on, everybody take a picture. Here, this, picture that, picture there, picture there. Like, and so you get pictures taken and you don't really prepare for those pictures to be taken, right? It's one thing when you have like you're taking a selfie and you can kind of like doll yourself up, so to speak. You can make yourself, get the right angle and all that, the right lighting, and make yourself look, optimal, I guess you might say. What do they call it? Face maxing or look maxing or something like that? I don't know. But then there's times when you get, I mean, there's the times when you can prepare for a photo and doll yourself up, and then there's times when your auntie just says, okay, Jeff, I'm going to get a photo. Let me smile for me, buddy. And this is the best you can come up with, man? What is this? Like, was this, like, are you attempting to demonstrate some sort of sex appeal? There's no sex appeal here, dude. You're dressed like Mr. fucking Rogers on a fishing trip where he didn't catch any fish, but he caught a catfish and ended up in jail over it. That would never happen to Mr. Rogers because he was based as fuck and you're a loser. Jesus Christ, man. What a fucking horrible photo. It's so anyway, it's one thing if your auntie wants to take a photo of you and whatever, you get caught off guard and maybe you have a shitty look on your face, like you don't smile or something, or you awkwardly smile. It happens, right? It really happens. Why the hell would you upload this to the internet? Why the hell would you not petition your auntie not to put this on the internet, or I mean complain to her not to put this on the internet? Why would you be like, auntie, please, Jesus Christ, don't put that online? Like, that looks horrible. Okay, if you're gonna put a photo of me online, like, put one where I look good, for Christ's sake. This is horrible. Like, this, it's almost foreshadowing. I believe this photo was taken before HVP, and there's a creepy like foreshadowing here because he looks like a creep in this photo, and when HVP hit, he would turn out to be exposed as a creep. So one last thing I wanted to look at here, it's actually a slideshow of his apartment. This is depressing, dude. This is probably one of the most depressing sights on this entire thing. I don't know. This is fucking depressing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, this would be a cool apartment if you were like, a young person, like you just moved to a major metro city for like the first time and you're just like kind of trying to make it, or maybe, you're this is acceptable if you're like younger and, you're still building yourself up financially and career wise. This would be acceptable digs. This is totally fine. Even this, if you were like a young, like married couple and you guys were just getting started out, you know what I mean? It would be totally like, this would be totally understandable and, quite cozy, I imagine. But this is a 44-year-old man, dude. What are you doing living in what looks like a fucking dorm room at that age, man? Get a fucking, like, you're living in a studio apartment, homie. Like, where's your bathroom at? They don't even show the fucking bathroom. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Does this have communal bathrooms? Hold on. Oh, God. Wait a minute. Oh, quad. We're about to find out something interesting here. Condo features an eat-in kitchen, gas range, high ceilings, very low condo fee. I don't know what that means. Pet friendly. I don't see anything about a bathroom. I sure don't. Oh, it has one bath. Okay, so a bathroom is listed here. Maybe it's just out of the view. Anyway, we're running up on an hour now. That is Jeff Sokol. I have some other stuff here we can go over. Like, I have the phone call here. I definitely want to go through that sometime. And I also want to go through the Crime Watch daily footage because that footage is actually pretty fucking hilarious. It's pretty great. So, but since we're running an hour now, I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead and let this one go. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate it. Feel free to throw a thumbs up or don't throw a thumbs down. Throw whatever you feel like throwing. But you go and have a great day, and make sure you do so on purpose. Bye bye.